I would like you to reflect on a couple of things. So write this down. What moments in 2025 stretched or refined you the most? What did you have to release this year in order to grow? Where did you see God working even when you didn't understand the process? Hey everyone, I'm Angeline Constantinu, and this is Her Unapologetic Voice. This podcast was created for women who lead but are done leading from apology. Here we have real, unfiltered conversations about boundaries, truth, and confidence. The kind of talks that remind you your voice is not something you find once, it's something you build. Every episode will give you something real to take with you, whether it's a boundary script, a reflection tool, or simply the courage to say what you really mean. So if you're ready to lead from your truth, not from approval, this is your space. Your unapologetic voice starts here. Welcome to Her Unapologetic Voice, and welcome to a brand new podcast episode. I am your host, Angeline, and today's episode feels especially sacred to me. And as we close out 2025, I didn't want to end the year with noise, hustle, or perfection. I wanted to end it with truth, with reflection, with gratitude, and with faith. Because I can tell you this, there is a lot of noise out there in the social media world. And while people are talking about what goals that they are trying to set for them and etc., which there's nothing wrong with that. There's just a lot of noise out there. And to me, this last week between Christmas and New Year's has been a deep, deep reflection. So, and I called this episode Rebirth and Reclaimed, a year of transformation and divine identity, because that's exactly what 2025 has been for me. It's a year when God met me in the quiet moments, the uncomfortable moments, and the moments where I had to surrender control and trust in Him fully. And 2025 did not begin on a joyous note. My dad had gone to live with the Lord, and this was on Christmas Day of 2024. And I remember attending my dad's wake, and I remember we celebrated his life, and a deep, deep awakening happened within me during that time. And what I want to do is I want to share that with you. 2025 was not the early part of the year. It was January was reflection time, and it was time for me to take a step back and reevaluate exactly where I wanted to go, because I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. During that awakening, something happened. It looked like, for me, releasing old identities that no longer fit. And it looked like facing fears once I avoided. And it looked like trusting God when I didn't have clarity, only faith. And if this has happened to you, please put a comment below. I realized that there were still old identities that I was holding on to, and old identities that no longer fit. So what I did was I leaned into God. And there were moments where I questioned myself, moments where I had to sit with discomfort instead of rushing to fix it, moments where God asked me to slow down, listen, and let go. And through all of it, I learned something powerful. Transformation doesn't happen when we're comfortable. It happens when we are obedient. So as time went along, I'm going to share a little story with you. I started to attend church, non-denominational church, which changed my life. And I made a decision in April to give my life to the Lord, to give my life to Jesus. And that was a huge turning point for me. And that was one of my defining moments of this year. It was my decision to be rebaptized. And this wasn't something that I did lightly. It wasn't about tradition. It wasn't about religion. It was about my relationship, meaning my relationship with God. Because I felt at one point in my life that I had lost a sense of my self-worth. And I lost my sense of being obedient to God. So I corrected myself. I course corrected myself. And I realized that the pain that I went through, with my dad, turned into something purposeful. And that was to be rebaptized. And it symbolized a spiritual reset for me, a recommitment of my life, my voice, and my purpose. It was laying down the weight of the past, meaning releasing the past, releasing all those old beliefs, all those old identities about myself. And in that moment, I wasn't just dipped in the water, washed in the water. Like you see, I was reborn in identity. So not only was I reborn in my identity, I reclaimed my life back. And I walked away knowing that who I was becoming mattered more than who I had been. A lot of things happened in 2025. After the rebaptism, I traveled to Greece. I started to travel again. And I traveled to Greece for the first time, I would say, in about 33 years. No joke. Okay. The last time I was in Greece was when I was probably 19 years of age. So, what I want to say is that was the last time I was in Greece, literally. So, it opened up a whole new world for me. And I met so many people, met so many new connections, and made friends. And I got outside of myself because one of my goals was to travel to Greece, and especially to Santorini, Greece, which still holds a special place in my heart. So that was a true awakening. And traveling to London to speak at a women's empowerment, real and raw liberation event, that was huge for me because at that point I hadn't been on stage in about a couple of years. Last year, I took a step back from speaking, but guess what? It taught me many things, and I prayed about it. And if I could sum up 2025 in a few words, they would be: healing isn't linear, but it is holy. Your voice matters even when it shakes. God reveals purpose through surrender, not perfection. So every lesson refined me, every challenge strengthened my faith, and every breakthrough reminded me that I was never walking alone. So for me, being alone is not a bad thing. For me, I don't feel alone, but I would rather enjoy my own company rather than be in a room full of people who don't even acknowledge and appreciate you. And some of those people may be some family members. I want to be in a room with people who level me up. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what I'm stepping into in 2026. And I am recording this video after I had a real horrible cold here, caught a bad cold, but now it's going away. God said to me, record a podcast episode. So God reveals purpose through surrender, not perfection. Every lesson refined me. every challenge strengthened my faith, and every breakthrough reminded me that I was never walking alone. As I prayed about stepping into 2026, I felt God placed one thing on my heart very clearly. You are not meant to walk into your season alone. So I have an announcement to make. This is why I created Awaken Your Identity event. So this isn't just an event. This is a sacred space for women who are ready to reconnect with who God created them to be. Women who are tired of shrinking, doubting, and silencing themselves. Women who are ready for clarity, healing, and renewal. So during this event, you'll explore practices and exercises that help you strengthen your self-awareness, awaken your voice, and embrace your true identity and God-given purpose. So it's happening on Wednesday, January 7th from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this will be a faith-centered, heart-led gathering where we release the old, reclaim our voice, and step into the next chapter with confidence and purpose. If something inside you is stirring right now, and if you've been feel called to join us, I invite you to register using the link in the show notes. You're going to go to this link right here and register. letsbreakthesilence.com/unlock event. So when you click on that link, the landing page, the page will come up. You register. It's going to ask you to book a pre-event interview with me so we can get to know each other and all the good things. Okay. So come as you are. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to have an open heart, because I know that there are women out there, especially at this time of the year going into 2026, they are struggling with their identity. They are struggling to find themselves. Yes, while leaning on God is great, God had called me to a purpose, and my purpose here is to empower all of you women to rediscover what your true identity is and what your true purpose is. So this workshop is going to help you shatter those beliefs. And I'm really, really excited for 2026. At the close of this live, I would like you to reflect on a couple of things. So write this down. What moments in 2025 stretched or refined you the most? What did you have to release this year in order to grow? Where did you see God working even when you didn't understand the process? Because I can tell you this, God has a special plan for us. He is orchestrating a new plan for you. So while it may seem that you are struggling, it's actually an awakening. God is reconstructing a plan for you. So on that note, I am going to close this live out, and please don't forget to register for the event. And the link will also be in the show notes. So please follow us at Her Unapologetic Voice on YouTube, and also on my Instagram handle at HUV at Her Unapologetic Voice Podcast. You could also find me on Spotify. We are on Spotify, Apple, Google, and all the other live streams. I want to end this live, close this out into prayer. So, Lord, thank you for walking with me through every season of this year. As I release what no longer serves me, help me trust you more deeply. Renew my spirit, strengthen my faith, and guide me as I step into the next chapter you've prepared for. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Have a beautiful day and live your life unapologetically. Thank you for listening to Her Unapologetic Voice. Every conversation here is meant to help you build confidence from the inside out and find strength in your own words. If today's message resonated, follow the show and share it with a friend who's ready to lead from who she truly is. You can also connect with me on social media at Her Unapologetic Voice podcast for updates and behind the scenes insights. Remember, confidence begins when you stop apologizing for your truth and start speaking from it. I'm Angeline Constantinou, and I will see you in the next episode.